with squad and the Four Kings. I think that's the most disrespectful shit I've ever heard. Them guys even fought no one, let alone each other, innit? Compare yourself to them greats.
Siren Blue, baby.
That was an era of boxing that I think will forever be looked back on, and fighters will always try and compare their eras to that era. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like these days when people say like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Teofimo Lopez, squad and the Four Kings. I think that's the most disrespectful shit I've ever heard. Them guys even fought no one, let alone each other, innit? Compare yourself to them greats.
It's hard to see because of the way boxing was then to how it is now. It's hard to see it ever having another thing like that. You know what I mean? And the way you had Sugar Ray Leonard was the golden boy. Yeah, Tommy Hearns was like, obviously he's from the Kronk gym. He come up Detroit. Was he from Detroit?
Yeah.
You got the Roberto Duran, started off a lot smaller than them, all the way over in Panama. They all had their stories going up. Four Kings, if you haven't read the book, is there a film? Is there a video out?
There must be a couple of documentaries.
There might, but they're definitely the book. If you're into books and that, the boxing book, definitely worth the read, man. Great book.
As a boxing fan, you can only hope that they do actually become that, and the only way that happens is by them all fighting each other and fighting each other multiple times.
Who we talking about? The Garcias and the Haneys and
over time as well. Like the thing is, like the reason why they're great is because they all fought each other.
The reason why they're great is because they would have been great without each other. Because Floyd didn't have those guys to sharpen his skills against, but he still knows great. It's like Roberto Duran, probably the greatest inside fighter ever. Whether he fought them or not, he always had them skills. Sugar Ray Leonard, in his style, he's probably one of the best. They got
highlighted against each other, innit? One shot against...
Duran was the best lightweight ever before he done that. Like Thomas Hearns, no matter who would have fought, he's that tall, rangy guy who was always going to be...
Walter. He didn't need to go middle and he ended up...
when it comes to that tall, rangy style, he's the best in those weight classes to ever do it. Hagler was middleweight before any of those guys come up. He was undisputed before he ever fought any of those guys. And he was literally the best switch hitter, probably still to this day. It's like individually, they were all ridiculously great and they made each other better. These guys individually, no offense to Ryan Garcia, but do you really think he's going to become one of the best fighters of all time?
Yeah, fair.
You know what I mean? And it's like there is levels at the same time.
Yeah. I think, but that argument, I think also is down to
still young.
Yeah, and it's down to the way boxing is now compared to the way boxing was then. See, then, this is my problem with boxing today and a lot of boxers today. Then, all you worried about was perfecting your craft. Now you have to perfect your image. You have to perfect your marketing team. Right. You got all and Ryan Garcia is doing that, and that will take away from what the Roberto Durans and what Hearns and Hagler and them man had, which was pure hunger. They knew if they lost the fight, even at their peak of their career, they was one fight away from never getting the opportunity to come out on a big stage again. It was all or nothing for them. That's why that war mentality, all that jogging back in steel-toe work, you won't see these boys doing it.
Also, one more thing. Thomas Hearns was 21 and the world champion when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. So them guys were hella young as well.
From early. Do you know that fight got offered? They offered, because obviously Sugar Ray Leonard was a golden boy. So he was picking opponents. He had the route mapped out for him. They come and got Tommy Hearns as an opponent when there was about 8-9 and 0 between them. They only had a few fights. And the fight was almost made, almost ready. And then Angelo Dundee found out about, like, once the fight got taken to him, he said, "Are you nuts?"
Yeah.
He said, "Are you nuts? This is guaranteed world title fight." You know what I mean? These guys in the future will fight for big titles on the line. And they tried to make them, that could have changed.
Yeah, everything.
That could have changed everything. Because that first fight, still for me, Hearns, Leonard is one of the greatest fights of all times in the way that it chop and changes. And now you imagine that happened a bit earlier, and he could have knocked out Leonard and done Leonard's career early. You know what I mean?
So what are you saying, that fighters should get protected until the top?
But then we're saying that was 21 years of age. That was 21 years of age.
Yeah, so fair enough. He got to the top very quick.
Yeah, obviously he was a golden boy. He got the fight set out for him, but he was beating the fighters that was in front of him, and it was obviously good enough to get him to a level. Because when he got in there with Tommy Hearns was still a stone cold killer, but they was both brought up to that level at the right time that they was prepared for it. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, won't spoil the ending, but it's obviously a 15-round fight. Doesn't go to 15 round, but every 3 or 4 rounds you're gonna change your opinion on who's gonna win this fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one of
every 3-4 rounds you're thinking, yeah, he's got it in the bag. All of a sudden, oh my days, raw, what just happened? My man's got it. You know what I mean?
Maybe we should do a little breakdown of that fight.
But I start all day long. Great fight. Great fight. Shows adaptations in fighters as well. Because the boxer becomes the puncher becomes the boxer.
Yeah.
You know? It shows that's real greatness in that fight there.
We should do a breakdown video with you guys actually like analysing.
And I can't lie, this makes me remember. You know, when you talk about them old fights and that love for boxing comes back, innit? You talk about these guys these days.
You don't get. You're thinking who got the best meme out of that fight? You know what I'm saying? You think that's what they're gonna get from it, bro. One of the sayings from the Duran Leonard first fight. After the fight, what did he say? The boy become a man and the man become a legend. You know what I mean? Because Sugar Ray Leonard was a boy going into that, and like you said already, Roberto Duran, realistically he was a legend. But you know what I mean? They were saying he was the man, Leonard was the boy. But that fight in Duran beating Leonard the first time just confirmed his legacy. You've got the golden boy. You know what I mean? This boy just come in and smoked him, showed him what boxing's about. But in losing, Leonard the boy become the man. He lost that fight, but he manned up from it. He showed his heart, he showed his desire, he showed he's not just all the skills and the flash boxing, he's also got the grit and determination. And obviously that just built up the next fights that he had bigger and better.